Yes, sir.
So we've been doing local politics for, I don't know, we got four shows in local politics. Sounds like we kind of got a waiting list too.
Yeah.
People are coming up to you saying, hey, what about me?
Yeah, so, that happens.
We have a race coming up here in November.
We have 5 candidates running for mayor in Cibolo because Dosh Boyle is stepping down. He won't be running.
Well, he termed out.
Yeah, right, termed out. And then we have in Schertz, we have 3 mayor candidates. We have, of course, the mayor of Schertz, Ralph, is running, and he's got 2 opponents. And we also have a council race that's at large in Schertz, so it's citywide. So we want to try to get those 3 candidates in here as well. And I think the idea is we're going to ask them our 10 secret questions that nobody can see, our secret questions.
Yeah.
And we're going to splice those answers together. Hopefully you can do the edits on those.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see. I know a guy, if not. But yeah, so we're going to do a Q&A for the candidates of 2022 here in our local area.
Yeah, and so like I've been telling you, we need to make sure if you guys are watching, please like and subscribe. Please, my shameless. I'm gonna get a T-shirt made that says like and subscribe. Yeah, we need you to keep listening.
It's not gonna be the typical show that that runs about an hour. So I mean, we're gonna try to keep them kind of quick, kind of like a little cliff notes for the candidates.
Yeah, but the idea is going to be to get people in here and get a chance to talk about your campaign. What separates you from your opponents? Why are you doing it? And why do you love the city where you live?
I don't, to my knowledge, know of anything like this that's happened before. In either, it's like, you get to do a meet and greet as a candidate, right? Yep. I mean, and it's kind of everything's in a quick soundbite type of thing, you know what I mean? And I don't want to say it's gotcha questions, but it's just like you're on the spot, and Ralph had said that whenever he did the show, the episode 4, I think it was, he had said, he goes, it was really relaxing. It was really, enjoyable just to sit here and just kind of talk. It's like that's the kind of comfort that we want people to have here. You know what I mean? So it's not like, tell us about the papers.
Well, we didn't want to get them all in here either and really start debating, and have somebody stand up like Trump did with Hillary, standing right behind her or whatever, that awkward moment, in the debate. Of course, that might help us get some more people to like and subscribe, but we're not here to do that.
2022 Q&A with the candidates.
Perfect. How long have you been in Schertz? What do you do, and why are you seeking a second term?
I've been in Schertz since 1991, 31 years. I was reassigned here to Randolph Air Force Base, retired, started working for the federal courts, retired, ran for city council, and now I'm the mayor of Schertz. Part of the reason why I decided to seek a second term is there's still so much that needs to be accomplished in our city. We have to continue to have the conversations with TxDOT so that we can mitigate the traffic concerns that we have on IH-35, FM 1518, FM 78, and 1103. So that communication still has to continue. We have to work on infrastructure. The infrastructure on Northern Schertz, there's a lot of undeveloped land, but it's very costly to get that infrastructure in there. And working with the economic development and the potential light industrial manufacturers to get the pipes on the ground is crucial. Safety. We all talk about schools and safety. The schools are their own identity, but on the safety portion of it, that's something that we have to address. We have to keep our city safe. In fact, this year with our 2022 and 2023 budget, we're actually adding 3 firefighters, 4 police officers, and 8 EMS crew individuals to our first responders. So, and not only that, development. We still have to continue to look at development, but not lose sight of what we are or who we are. So we have to work those issues, whether it's multifamily, if we can find the right place for them. And we have the new development that's coming up in Southern Schertz, and also in Was it Heritage Oaks is another development coming right off here, off the Parkway. All that is crucial. But most important, the two main things that I'm trying to work on is the the FM 3009 expansion to hit I-35 and connect with I-10. It's got to have a starting point, and I've started that already, and I can't just let it go at this point because no one may pick it up, and it could just fall down. And then retail and commercial on Southern Schertz. It's a necessity, and I'm working on getting the rooftops there. And finally, I think I've got the attention of some of these retailers to build there. And so I'm not finished there. That's why I think it's an obligation to continue.
How long have you been in Schertz? What do you do? And why are you running for mayor?
Me and my family have lived in Schertz now for a little over 3.5 years. Running for mayor, Schertz has been good to me and my family. Wife and I got our first house here because we lived military housing before. And I have 2 special needs daughters, and they've grown so much from the education system. So pretty much I want to give back to Schertz the best way it can be done. And what was the other one, sir?
How long have you been in Schertz? What do you do, and why are you running for mayor?
So what do I do? Now I'm a stay-home dad. I'm a disabled vet, so pretty much retired. So that's what I do now.
What's your favorite thing about Schertz?
The people. Honestly, especially my neighborhood. My neighbors are just real awesome. Everybody looks out for each other, looks out for everybody else's kids. Just the friendliness is awesome. It really is. So I like also how my neighborhood's real diverse.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be veteran and military friendly as well. So, yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised that a lot of duty stations I went to, they're not very big on the military because of people in the past that have messed up there, tore stuff up there. So they tend to not like us too much.
There's so many quality of life issues that that we have been able to accomplish. It's a great place. I mean, you can run the Parkway at 2:00 in the morning and not have any fears, because I do it too sometimes. 2:00 in the morning, you'll see me jogging the Parkway. But all the different things that we have, the Moving on Main, Project Flagline, the community involvement, I think, is the biggest thing that I have seen. When you have a vaccine clinic and you have 260 volunteers during the vaccine clinics, that sense, that touches your heart in so many ways. And I think that is the main thing that I see with our city and in our community.
What are the most important challenges facing the city, and how do you think these challenges could be addressed?
Development. There's always a sense that the city, there's challenges with permitting and different things that occur when someone's developing. Before developers even start turning dirt, you're talking about almost a year and a half before they get to that process. That's been a big challenge, is helping development. And I formed a subcommittee to help developers. It consists of 2 council members, 2 developers, an engineer, and the city staff, so we can address some of those things. Tree mitigation. We address tree mitigation by just putting the max of $10,000 per acre. So if you have 10 acres of land, the max you're going to pay is $100,000. One developer had to pay close to $260,000 for 8 acres of land. So we create obstacles, and we need to overcome those barriers and make it easier for development.
Honestly, the growth of it. One thing with it growing, especially the area I live in, I see nothing but a bunch of houses being built. And I know there was an issue for someone like myself, being a disabled veteran, with being exempt from paying property taxes. that it takes away from the city. And like I said, there's nothing but houses over there where I live, but no retail businesses. And it has, like, citizens like myself going to Universal City to do shopping because it's the closest. And then especially with the inflation, we got to save as much money as we can for, like, our gas. So, you know, that's one of the biggest things, you know, because I keep hearing something about the budget. We can't because of the budget. And it's like, well, let's bring more into the city like that so we can have more money for the budget. So, and, you know, that's one thing that Schertz is getting is disabled veterans. So it's going to take away from the property taxes. So.
Right. Because disabled veterans don't pay property tax, correct?
Well, it depends. If you're under 100%, then it's you get like a discount. Like you pay only a percentage of the property tax. If you're 100%, you don't pay.
100% disabled?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. What would be your top priority if reelected as mayor?
Top priority is keeping the first responders good to go. Just fully budgeted, whatever their needs are, because that's our safety net. Seriously, as a society, we all depend on them, you know, when in need. Trying to find even more solutions for school security. You know, that's a real big one, especially being a parent, you know, because none of us like what happens. And unfortunately, it's probably not the last one, you know, which is sad.
Right. Yeah.
So, and then, of course, taking care of teachers. You know, they do have a hard job, and we depend on them a lot. So, you know, they should be also taken care of, I personally think. So
The top priority has to be retail in Southern Schertz.
Mm-hmm.
As we mentioned on the last show, is that if you look at the millions of dollars that are leaving that area and going somewhere else when they can stay within our city boundaries, it can have a big economic push on Schertz. You figure most of these housing residents are bringing in close to $100,000 on the average. Where's that money going? Yeah, some of it is staying here in Schertz, but I almost guarantee most of it is leaving. So retail, commercial, food establishments in Southern Schertz is my biggest priority right now.
The city just completed its budget cycle. If anything, what would you have wished the council had done differently?
Well, we are lowering our tax rate. Our tax rate is going from 50.21, and we're bringing it down to 49.5. So that's a huge drop in the tax rate. Almost a penny and 1.75 cents. I just think that some of the issues we didn't need to address right away. We need to focus more on staff. Although I know parks are important, there was no need to purchase new parkland. I think we needed to step back on that. It's not necessary when you have 26 parks. Adding another park, I just didn't see the necessity. Not only that, are we overstaffing our staff with another park? But overall, I think I was very, very pleased with it because of the number of personnel we're adding to it. The first responders. It will increase the capabilities and the response time and get ready for fire station number 4, which is I'll probably see by the end of the year next year.
You know what? I actually didn't get to go to the last meeting. I was actually in the hospital, so. You know, I'll answer the question like this. I keep hearing the budget is a reason for all kinds of things. Can't do this because of budget. Can't do this. And what I don't like about that is there's never, we're looking into this solution, though. It's just flat out, no, the budget, we can't. Now, I've always been a firm believer in you can't give advice unless you can take advice. Listen to ideas from the public, because, one person can't think of everything, no matter what. So, that's the answer to that question. I mean, a budget I know is pretty tricky.
Yeah.
So, and it can be. So,
what best separates you from your opponents, or what you know of your opponents?
they're not me. I know my personality. Pretty persistent. For a lack of a better word, aggressive, but not in a mean way. Like, once I set my mind to something, say like I was talking about bringing retail or something, once I set my mind to it, I'm not going to stop. Like, I'll just keep going at it, per se. Like, keep throwing punches at it. Like, hey, come on, let's go. We need this. Time now. I guess that's military did that to me. Like, I want results. I don't want excuses, results. Got people over here needing. So,
I don't know much about my opponents. One of them had been on council for 11 years, and I don't want to think that I'm different. I just I have my own vision on different things. I came out with a new comp plan for our staff. I called it my 421 plan on how to distribute merit pay. I'm just a visionary. I see things that where they can be better, and I go full force and try to make some adjustments. The clinic was one of those examples, how we changed it from time to time and made it just flow easier. The project flag line, moving on Main. I just think that there's very little outside thinking of how things can be done better.
As for the property owners, it says, with the recent skyrocketing property values, do you believe in getting tax relief to property owners? If so, what are some suggestions going forward on how to do that?
When it comes to appraisals and property tax, it becomes a compromise. What does the city need to provide for its residents? And that's where the tax rate comes in. That's where the whole compromise is do we overlook the need for first responders to lower the property tax? Those are the challenges that we face as council. We could have dropped the rate down to 46 something or 45 or drop it completely, but at what sacrifice? It's a very fine line. We love where we live in Schertz, and to keep it safe the way it is, it's got to have a perfect balance, and that's very difficult to do.
Shopping around, trying to find any way, or taking ideas, like I mentioned before, about taking advice. And yes, I am for it. I'm not for this increase at all. It doesn't affect me personally at all, but it does the citizens. And I can tell you two good big reasons. What have we gone through recently? The pandemic, where people are either laid off or couldn't go to work. And right now, inflation. It's just getting harder for people to get their head above water. It's just hurting the community, making people want to move. My neighbors, for instance, are like, man, I might have to sell my house because I just can't. So,
what is happening with the development at the old North Cliff Golf Course? What is your preferred solution?
You know what? I recently, about 2 nights ago, I got an email from I'm guessing their president of their HOA. They want me to come out there and meet them and the community, and meet them next Thursday, the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really heard too much about the golf course. I tried studying a bit, like watching their videos from the meeting that happened. And what I took from it was, and I'm assuming,
Mm-hmm.
is that it's closed. Well, I know it's closed down. And I'm assuming that they want it reopened. But the thing is I'm guessing that it would cost the city too much money to reopen it, and it wouldn't be a big business maker, pretty much, or get usage out of it to where money can be made. I did see a resident that was in that meeting stating that he knows people that would buy it, and it'd be privately owned. So, I mean, that could be something looked into. Like I said, I meet them next Thursday, so.
North Cliff Golf Course. It doesn't exist anymore. We have to face reality. There is no more golf course. The land has been sold into different parcels. Different people own the different portions of it. So the golf course, we know, will never exist again. There is some concerns about it. One of the developers wants to build quads, not duplexes. It's a quadplex. So there's concern about it because they're used to seeing the open fields, the golf course, and as mayor, I don't have a decision in this point. I basically have been taken out of making the decision because the homeowners have 20% of the users surrounding it that oppose it. So it's going to need a 3/4 majority rule to get this passed. But as mayor, I have to look at it both ways. I have to see what the residents, their concerns, and if they prevail in this situation, then I have to work with the developer and see what can work there that the residents can. And if it's the other way around, if the developer comes out victorious in it, I have to make sure that the concerns that the citizens have are addressed when he develops. So as a mayor, it's a fine line in this situation. I just know that it's going to be developed, and what it is, I don't know yet. We'll find out September 27th and the final reading October 11th.
This is, we sent all the candidates questionnaires. And I wanted to ask you your key message from your questionnaire. And you wanted to discuss your vision and compare what was to what is. That was something you wanted us to ask you about. So what do you mean by that?
There's so many individuals think of place of what it was before instead of what it is. And I look at what it is and what it could be. That's why I say my vision. You see world in a different place. Just think back when you were growing up. Your house. You think it's a mansion. You go back now, it's a small cottage. That's what I mean. Is do you have a vision to move forward? What is the vision? And I think that's where council comes in, is trying to find the perfect vision that we agree on, because we all want what's best for our city. It's how do we get there? How do we get there? And that's what I meant by some people look at the world of what it was instead of what it is. I look at what it is and what it could be. So we can wait for things to happen or make things happen. That's what I meant by that.
We asked you on the questionnaire to is there a key message or key messages you'd like to discuss during your interview, and you said your platform. So what is your platform?
Pretty much that was it. Everything that I've answered so far. Pretty much, I just want people to know, like, it's funny, actually. I had the hardest time trying to figure out a slogan. I really did. I must have went through like 18, 20 different things. And I'm like, no, that's corny. No, that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, man, this is hard. And I actually came out with, in the Army, we had 7 Army values. And one of them was always my absolute favorite, and it's selfless service. So, and that's one I picked. And besides everything that I've answered so far, that's pretty much my platform. Is I want to give. When I say I want to give back to the community, I pretty much want to give the city back to the residents. As in, you have an idea, please approach me. Please tell me. Let's work on this. Let's get this. For instance, where I live, my community, we don't have a swimming pool, but the neighborhoods around us do. So our kids can't go there. And, recently I've been talking with the YMCA about, hey, can y'all start a shuttle or something? Because it's not like our kids can ride the bike over here because they got to go on 78 and 1518 and then top it off 120-degree weather. They're going to pass out from heat exhaustion and they get hit by a car.
Exactly.
And then rub dirt in it.
Exactly.
So just giving it back. Schertz is going to grow. You can't stop it. So let the residents benefit from it growing. Not everything's going to be perfect. I understand that. Nothing ever is, except my wife.
What do you want the voters to know about you and your campaign?
Just approachable. Actually, I do want to say something about the campaign, and a few voters have said to me, of course I'm unknown. It's funny. I guess there's another Robert Marks in Schertz that's well known, and they thought it was him that was running. And so I had heard that he thought it was funny, and I thought it was funny. But there was concern about if I have leadership ability. I'm guessing with either my age or since I'm an unknown, no one really knows how I am. And I've never really started saying it because I didn't want to bring it up, or I would have other people trying to talk to me at the same time. So if it's a worry about if I have leadership ability or not, or if I crumble or whatever, as I stated before, I was an infantryman. And in all 3 of my deployments, I was in a leadership position, team leader or squad leader. And we had to stay calm when it was chaotic. Were we calm? We probably weren't talking like it because I had to yell.
Yeah.
And rub dirt in it.
Yeah.
But, I do have the leadership. My guys came home. We got our job done. I mean, obviously I was trained very well. So, I had great leaders. So I had some people to learn from. So.
Several my friends have said, you got this. Nothing's certain. And if you don't give it your all, why even give it? You have to go full force into it and do your best, regardless of what it is, whether it's campaigning or being mayor again for the next 3 years. You have to do your best. And that's what I'm trying to, with the individuals that are helping me with my campaign. Not only that, my message, I would not go negative. That is not the way I campaign. I want this to be strictly based on my merits, what I've accomplished, not attacking another candidate. These candidates are our neighbors, our friends. We run into them in different places. It's not necessary. That's my message to those that want to help me in my campaign. Help me, but don't attack the other individual.
Mayor, thank you for coming in and being a guest on our podcast. Thank you for coming in and answering our questions. And nobody gave you the questions. Nobody told you what the questions were. And I appreciate, I want all our viewers to know that. But it means a lot that you came in here and took the time to answer some questions. They're not too hard. And we're trying to be transparent for your constituents and Schertz. And I think the voters of Schertz hopefully will appreciate this. But thank you for coming in.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate that also.
Yeah. Mr. Robert Marks, thank you for your service to our country.
My pleasure.
Thank you
anytime.
for throwing your name in the hat and being interested in local politics. Thank you for following the podcast, and thank you for coming on today.
Of course. Thank you guys for inviting and having me. I appreciate it.